تقع دولة كينيا في شرق قارة إفريقيا، ويقال إنها أخذت اسمها من جبل ماونت كينيا الذي تكون قبل حوالي 3 ملايين عام. وقد رزحت كينيا تحت الاستعمار البرتغالي ثم البريطاني قرونا عديدة، حتى تمكنت من الاستقلال عام 1963 للميلاد. يوجد في كينيا أكثر من 40 مجموعة إثنية، وتوصف بأنها واحة برية ثرية بالحيوانات والنباتات. وتختلف جغرافيتها ومناخها وسكانها على نطاق واسع، بدءا من قمم الجبال المغطاة بالثلوج والغابات الشاسعة والمناطق الزراعية الخصبة، إلى الصحاري شبه القاحلة، ثم السهول الساحلية. وقد جعلت منها هذه التضاريس نقطة جذب سياحي عالمية.
My name is Ambassador Ugego. I'm Kenya's ambassador to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I'm also accredited to the Republic of Iraq. I have now been in the kingdom for 4 years. This is my 5th year, and I enjoy every bit of it. Our stay in Saudi has been very enjoyable. This is my 5th year since I arrived. We spent a lot of time doing our work, obviously. We have lots of engagements, both within the diplomatic circles. My wife is part of the diplomatic spouses community and engagements, and they have their own programs. I have a daughter who goes to school, and we are pretty busy, each one of us engaged in his or her own way. Yes, we have friends in Saudi. We have made lots of friends. I have friends all over the country. Unfortunately, I had not had a chance to visit the kingdom, but I had thorough and deep knowledge about the kingdom and the region in general, having studied the Middle East and North Africa program in my undergrad and postgrad studies, and so I'm fairly abreast with the ongoings in the region. I've been very lucky to have visited most parts of the kingdom. In the east, in Dammam, Al-Korbar. I've been to the south, Al-Basha, I've been to Bisha, I've been to the central parts of the kingdom. In Qasim area, I know a bit of Qasim, Breda, Unaiza, all these places I know very closely. I've been to Medina, I've been to Jeddah, obviously. I've been to Hail, I've been to Al Jawf, I've been to Tabuk, and of course, been to Neom, courtesy of Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, together with my colleagues. But on my own, I have traveled to many parts of the kingdom. Open spaces in the east, Alula, which is very historic, and every time I have a moment, I always wish I could spend it in Alula. I think from a newcomer, Saudi would look like all the same, because of the dress code and the topography looks desert. But as you settle down and travel around the country, you see lots of diversities and different cultures. Each region has its different types of cookery, different songs and dances. We have a growing number of Kenyans coming to the kingdom. Let me just put it this way, that Saudi is our biggest labor market. And as you could imagine, we face a lot of unemployment. We have a lot of highly educated Kenyan youth, graduates, high school diploma holders, technicians. Majority of them do not have enough jobs at home. So Saudi offers us a great deal of opportunity, and we really appreciate and thank the kingdom for this chance. We have over 200,000 Kenyans in various categories. Domestic workers are half of that number, and the other half belong to the private sector. The professionals, the people who work in various fields, hospitality, as salesmen, for Al-Marai, for instance, work as baristas in hotels, as chefs, as waiters, bus drivers. We have all sorts of Kenyans everywhere in the kingdom, and we expect the number to grow bigger because of our deepening and broadening bilateral relations with Saudi.
نحن حقيقة أمام آفاق جديدة وواسعة للتعاون بين المملكة العربية السعودية وبين جمهورية كينيا، ولا شك أن موقعها الاستراتيجي في القارة الإفريقية، ولا شك أن خصائصها الداخلية وثرواتها وما يتوفر فيها أو لديها من موارد مختلفة، ليس أقلها المياه وليس أقلها التنوع الطبيعي. هذا مهم جدا، ولكن هناك استراتيجيات تبنى في العلاقات. المملكة العربية السعودية في علاقاتها مع كينيا تنطلق من مصالح مشتركة وتسعى إلى المستقبل. نحن أمام مرحلة جيدة، ولدينا رؤية طموحة في المملكة العربية السعودية 2030، ولدينا انفتاح استراتيجي غير مسبوق على دول العالم. وكينيا الصديقة بمسؤوليها وبمؤسساتها وبقادتها وبمجتمعها الطيب الصديق يعلمون أن من له شراكة استراتيجية مع المملكة العربية السعودية فهو يحظى بمكانة، وهو حقيقة سيعود عليه بالنفع الكثير على المستوى الشعبي وعلى المستوى الحكومي وعلى المستوى الاقتصادي وعلى مستقبل العلاقات الدولية. من هنا ندرك بأن العلاقات بين المملكة وبين كينيا بنيت أساساً لتحقيق هذه المصالح وهذه الأهداف.
Well, we have had increasing number of Saudis to visit Kenya for various reasons. Traditionally, it was mostly tourism, particularly the upmarket Saudis going to the safaris, which is very well known in Kenya. Globally, we are a leading safari destination. But over the period, particularly since 2019, we've had an increasing number of Saudis going for business, government delegations, particularly those that are involved in recruitment. As I said, we have a lot of Kenyans now coming in, so there's a lot of engagement between us and Saudis, and I can see the number growing moving forward. We've been very fortunate. I've seen the signing of political MOU between Kenya and Saudi. We have seen the signing of Joint Cooperation Commission between Kenya and Saudi, and various other MOUs between different ministries and agencies between Saudi and Kenya. And this is, as you know, in diplomatic relations, this is the apex of bilateral relations, because it creates the framework for negotiations and engagement. And if I could give you an example, in multilateral spheres, particularly the UN bodies, we're almost at a level of enjoying reciprocity So we support each other wherever we have an interest, say in a candidacy between Kenya and Saudi, and this is working out very well.
حجم التعاون بين المملكة وبين كينيا في تنامي، هناك شراكات مختلفة، هناك مسعى إلى أن تكون العمالة الكينية المدربة ضمن من يشاركون في تنمية المملكة العربية السعودية، ويعود بالنفع على كينيا وعلى العوائل الكينية، وهذا بالإمكان أن يكون. ولدينا آلاف كثيرة من أصدقائنا من كينيا يعملون في المملكة العربية السعودية. المستقبل واعد جدا، الآفاق مختلفة. نظرة المملكة العربية السعودية إلى القارة الإفريقية في الوقت الحالي تعتبر استراتيجية بكل ما تعني الكلمة من معنى، في مجال التعاون السياسي، الاقتصادي، الاجتماعي، الصناعي، والمملكة لديها خطة طموحة وخصوصا على الجانب الصناعي، وأصدقائنا هناك قادرين على أن يشاركون المملكة بما يستطيعون وبما يعود بالنفع على الدولتين في هذا الجانب.
Our relations with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is at its best, but we are working hard to make it all-time best. Our relations are deep, wider, and we engage at the highest level now. We've had official visit by our former president. We expect state visit by our current president. We've had lots of high-level exchange visits, both by the Saudi Minister for Foreign Affairs and the Kenyan counterpart. We've had other ministries visiting. Recently, we just hosted our Minister for Labor. And so going forward, we can only look at a broader and wider relationship between Saudi and Kenya. We have to start at the government-to-government level to make sure that the relations are closer and stronger. And after that, we bring the business people. So B2B is a very important step. I recently hosted our Minister for Trade, who had an elaborate visit and engagement with Saudi business sector. All the major Saudi companies were available to meet him, and the dialogue and the discussions were very fruitful. Actually, the minister came back after 2 weeks as a follow-on engagement, and so out of those meetings we expect just good news in terms of trade and investment between Kenya and Saudi. And then we have to go to the level of the people to people. We must strengthen this sphere as well, expose Saudis to Kenyans and East Africans, and expose East Africans to Saudis. And we are working at various levels, using the media, other platforms to ensure that the people, both regions, know and understand each other. After all, historically, we are very close. In terms of distance, we are 3-4 hours away from each other. It should be very easy to discover and to get to know each other. So those 3 layers are our strategic focus.
القارة الإفريقية بمكوناتها وبالدول الموجودة فيها وضمنها كينيا، بل في مقدمتها كينيا، ونحن نتحدث عن علاقات سعودية كينية، أصبحت مجالاً حيوياً للتنافس الدولي الإيجابي الذي يسعى إلى شراكات مع هذه الدول، بل أن هناك رغبة ملحة وهناك قمم تعقد بين الدول الإفريقية وبين قوى دولية هدفها التعاون، هدفها الاقتصاد، هدفها أن يكون هناك شراكة مميزة ومثمرة ومصالح، وكل بحسب سياسته. لكن نتحدث المملكة العربية السعودية وعلاقاتها مع هذه الدول، دائما المملكة في الجانب الإيجابي المطلق، لا تسعى إلى أي مصالح ضيقة أو خاصة بها، وإنما إلى علاقات تعود بالنفع على الجانبين. كينيا بموقعها الاستراتيجي وبتاريخها القديم وبتنوعها الجغرافي وأيضا مظاهر السطح وأيضا ثرواتها الحيوانية والزراعية والمناخية مهمة جدا، وبالتالي المملكة كما تسعى إلى أن يكون شراكاتها وعلاقاتها مع جميع دول العالم، فكينيا ضمن هذا العالم الجيد وضمن هذه الدول الصديقة، وضمن ما يمكن أن يبنى عليه الأمل في خدمة الشعبين في كينيا الصديقة وفي المملكة العربية السعودية.
During my interactions with Saudis, the vision is palpable. I mean, there's a strong feeling that every Saudi has embraced the vision. I feel it every time I meet Saudi officials in my visits in the far-flung parts of the kingdom. You can feel that everybody has a sense of the vision. And this is very encouraging, and it's very popular. Vision in terms of reforms, it can be seen, it can be felt. Having been here for 4 years, I can tell how much faster the reforms are taking place. Not just in terms of society, but even in terms of issues environmental. One of the areas we offered to collaborate in was in the greening programs, greening Riyadh, for instance, and the program to plant trees. As you know, we are in the tropics. We have big vegetation, forest cover on our land, and some knowledge about forestry and you know, crops, seeds that could do well in hot climates, in deserts. And so we have had engagements, you know, to partner with the Saudis with regards to matters climate change. The other area is on the upcoming NEOM, and we offered to be part of the hospitality industry in terms of capacity building. As you know, we have an old and experienced expertise in hospitality, particularly in the tourism sector and hotel industry. And we were discussing to see possibilities of having academies between Kenya and Saudi, either based in NEOM or the one we have in Kenya, Utalii College already, which is an internationally accredited college, to train the future staff that will be required to work in the NEOM. I think Saudi is in the right direction. It's getting its position, rightful position amongst, international community and allowing tourists to come over. Saudi is opening up and more people will be coming.
نقطة مهمة جدا، المملكة العربية السعودية في هذا العهد الزاهر، عهد الملك سلمان وسمو ولي العهد رئيس مجلس الوزراء الأمير محمد بن سلمان، أصبحت تعطي للعلاقات الخارجية عناية فائقة، وتسعى إلى أن يكون الجميع بنفس مبادئ المملكة العربية السعودية ونظرتها للاقتصاد وللمشاركة في البناء والتنمية ولبناء حضارة إنسانية ولتجاوز الخلافات والبعد عن ما ينغص على حياة الإنسان العادي. هذا نهج في المملكة العربية السعودية أصبح نراه حاليا، وأصدقائنا في كينيا يعلمون هذا التوجه، وأعتقد أن قادم الأيام بإذن الله سبحانه وتعالى سنشهد آفاق مختلفة عن الذي نراه حاليا، سواء كان في التبادل التجاري وحجمه، العلاقات الاقتصادية، التبادل التمثيلي على كافة المستويات التي ينتج عنها مثل شراكات مختلفة اقتصادية، شركات وشراكات، وأيضا استثمار على الأرض الكينية وخصوصا في المجال الزراعي. وكينيا ستظل صديق المملكة العربية السعودية كما بقية الدول الإفريقية الصديقة، ولكن ونحن نتحدث عن العلاقات الثنائية فهي من العلاقات الجيدة والواعدة لمستقبل زاهر.
Well, to the Saudi audience, just to thank you for your hospitality. You made me a home away from home. I've loved my stay here for the last 4 years. Very memorable. DQ itself is a very serene place, very comfortable to live in, very secure with all the amenities, hospital, eateries, cafes, gyms, all the things everybody would want. And to tell Kenyans that Saudis are amongst the most hospitable people I've ever found in my tour of duty around the world. And to tell Saudis that Kenya is a true partner. We are hard-working people. We are reliable. And Kenya is also an anchor state in our sub-region. Unlike Saudi, we are an anchor state, and it's in our interest to work together as two anchor states in two sub-regions, making sure that we maintain stability and security and peace in our sub-regions.